Hello there everyone, I'm Oscar C. Tango, occasional game designer and professional game master. In this series, I'm going to attempt to make some tabletop RPG stuff more approachable to those new to the hobby or just looking to move beyond Dungeons & Dragons. Today we'll be looking at OSR as a whole, from what OSR is to some good starting entry point games into this particular style. So to jump right into it, OSR is a style of game based on Dungeons & Dragons from before 3rd edition, either outright in design or in spirit in some way. OSR stands for either Old School Renaissance or Old School Revival, depending on your preference. So the games from this tend to focus on dangerous dungeons, lower power characters, and death being a fairly likely outcome. You might be interested in OSR if you like fast and deadly combat, dangerous traps, and don't mind dying and remaking a character. If you prefer heavy social games or epic campaigns to save the world, this style might not be for you. Not to say those games aren't here, but they are not the majority of what you're going to find. So, how do you play OSR? How do you get into it? There are so many games that are under the OSR banner, it can be a bit daunting to start. So I'm going to focus on 3 specific games I think are good entries into the style. If none of these are your favorite OSR game, I'm very sorry. I haven't read even, a lot of them. So, I'm only going by what I know. But listed by price, the games are Mouse Ritter, Knave, and Five Torches Deep. I'm going to keep each description about these fairly short without really going into them in depth. There are other videos I'm in out there that do that, so, you know. But starting off, first up is Mouse Ritter. The game price is priced at pay what you want for the PDF, so anywhere from free to $1 million, depending on your personal preferences and spending habits. Mouse Ritter is a game about mice in a more or less modern world making their way. It is a fantasy RPG, make no mistake, just, humans have modern houses and the like. The game only has 3 stats to it, so for those of you familiar with the stats, you don't have to know 6, only 3. It is very deadly, with combat frequently being capable of killing someone in a single blow. And in a move that defines the family of game that Mouse Ritter belongs to, it removes rolls to hit. You only need to roll damage. The game can be made family-friendly very easily with some slight modification. It is only about 48 pages and comes with a number of helpful tables and resources such as adventure creators and world generators, as well as item creation and the like. It's a very good entry into tabletop RPGs and OSR for any group looking to dip their toes into this kind of thing for a very low entry point of free. Second up is Knave, a classless, more classic fantasy RPG creation toolkit priced at $3. I do know that I said toolkit, and it is in fact a toolkit, but you can play Knave as is out of the book with a little bit of work on your part. The game is only 7 pages, including its design notes, and covers everything from character creation, items and services, combat, leveling up. It has some levelless spells and covers how to make monsters. It doesn't need a lot, and what you're missing can frequently be found online, sometimes for free. And if you want a more classic fantasy game and want to build as you go, Knave is an excellent choice. It works as is or modified, so trying it and seeing what comes out of your play with it is definitely worthwhile. And finally, we have Five Torches Deep. This game is $10 for a PDF and is specifically designed to bridge the gap between the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons and old school revival type games. So if your group wants to move away from 5e to something deadlier, it's worth giving a try right there. The game is highly focused on making a good dungeon delving experience in the core book, with expansions that really add to what you can do as you play, such as homesteads, duels, and stealth being given their own books and updates. I also highly recommend the Origins expansion, as it highly improves character generation. If you want something that feels familiar to modern games, with a very strong OSR fundamental, go ahead and give Five Torches Deep a try. Now, I will say that there are some very popular games out there I haven't read that do deserve an honorable mention. Specifically, Old School Essentials and Dungeon Crawl Classics are games I've heard a lot of good things about, but I just haven't had a chance to read them yet. So, I can't really recommend them with any confidence. But if you like the other games I suggested, go ahead and look them up. There are a lot of interesting and unique OSR games out there, sometimes families of them. If you like dungeon crawling and want something new, hit up the OSR sphere and just see what pops up. There are also a lot of free resources and blog posts out there to help people if you don't mind doing a bit of digging. With that said, I'd like to thank you all for listening, and hopefully this has helped demystify OSR for those interested. Have a good day, or evening wherever you are. Goodbye.